believe this is a hard decision. I want the plug pulled. Yeah.
He's just taking a nap.
Look at him. Look at him. I've never seen him make that noise, ever. Oh, baby. Mama loves you so much.
Kamala, thank you so much for joining us. We deeply appreciate you doing this historic interview here live on the stream.
Benjamin, I'm not very happy with you. What do you mean I have to pay you? I thought I was getting paid. That's why I'm here.
Well, I know this has been something in your past that has quite lifted up your career.
I'm already here, and I brushed my teeth today, so let's get this over with. I'm very busy. I'm watching the highlights of the DNC. This is really important for the election. All right.
Yeah.
So what do you want to know?
Well, I'd like to know why you weren't there last night and why you've been, sort of gone during the DNC, almost like you're ashamed of this cringe fest that's going on.
Ashamed is, although appropriate, a strong word. Now, I'll tell you like this. It takes a lot to run a country. And I don't know if you noticed, but Joe hasn't been around. So, it's hard to multitask. And that's what we're bringing forth here. I have Nancy and, Michelle running the shots at the DNC so that I can run the country.
So you're running the country right now. That's news.
Absolutely.
Big news. So how can you, in all due respect, Madame Vice President, how can you claim that everything's going to hell in this nation in every one of your campaign speeches, but yet you're in charge? This seems like a major conflict of interest.
Well, this is all Joe Biden's doing. I mean, I wasn't really responsible for anything. I wasn't even, I was told I was going to be responsible for the border. But things just kept happening and I couldn't show up. And it's, they haven't given me a fair time to go. And it's only been 3.5 years. I was planning to go eventually. And after Joe just, he kept on pushing to run for re-election. But it was, we decided that it's my time. So, I have to fix this mess and it'll happen on day one. I've been here all this time, but, on day one, we'll fix all of it.
Again, I don't know why you end every single statement with a laugh, because you are talking about a man who clearly has Joe Biden, who clearly has some mental difficulties, and
he'll be fine.
So
do you know how many times I pushed him down the flight of stairs? He gets right back up. I mean, at first it was my goal. And then, no matter what I did, he just jumps back. I wish America knew how resilient that man really was. But, at this point, I think his liver took a hit from everything we did to him. So he's useless.
Some have speculated that you have a drinking problem, Madame Vice President. Can you comment on that?
I don't know what you're talking about. No, this is just vodka. Don't worry.
So here at the DNC, many have been criticizing that there is no real path forward and no vision casting. That is just a big Trump hate fest, and that you have no plan, and that you've released no plans. All you have are a bunch of pronouns on your website, and no actual plans for the country. Can you explain what you're going to do to fix everything in America?
Well, the young generation, and I've said this before, and it is on camera. The young generation, what do they all have in common? Like 18 to 24. They're all stupid, right?
You have said that before. Yes, you have.
They are very stupid, and we want them to envision the policies that they want for America. So it was my idea. I'm very proud of it, but there are no policies. It's blank. That's the beauty of the entire campaign. They have to envision, so that they can unburden what has been. It's all coming full circle. This is, that was always the plan.
Now I see it. The Venn diagrams, unburdened by what have been.
I have a preview for tonight's speech if you want. All of it's jam-packed in there.
Please, the floor is yours, Madame Vice President. What will we be hearing tonight from?
Right, don't air this until after tonight, okay?
Okay.
Exclusive for you. All right.
Okay.
All right. It is time, America, to do what we have been doing. And, that time is every day. Every time the sun rises, the time to do comes. And, when it sets, well, it's time to have a drink. And,
Wow.
yeah, hold on, I'm not finished. Hang on a
Please.
second.
I'm
I went
I'm
to
amazed.
Howard. Yeah, I'm a bison. So, think about happy hour, right? Think about happy hour. Being joyful. That's what the country really needs. Not all this talk about policy, foreign and domestic, terrorism. It we need joy back into the White House. That's why I picked Tim. He laughs more than me. And together we can really blind the people with all the joy that we have. So I invite you to tag along to the greatest campaign that this country has ever seen. And, imagine how 50%, 50% more meat cost, you know, more than when Trump was in office. So think about, do you have any black people that work with you? Think about how cheap McDonald's is going to be. Can I get an amen? On day one, I will get all those prices down. And, 44.6% on capital gains. It's time to start taxing those people. And they thought that it couldn't be done. I'll tell you, Nancy stopped every single person from getting it done, because she has a vested interest in the stock market. But, I made a little deal with her, and, if she gives me a copy of the key to the liquor cabinet, I'll exempt her from that, right? So, America, join me, join the winning party, join the party of joy, of happiness, of vasectomies, of abortions. Join all of us, and come and make the right decision on November 5th. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, how was that? Ben, I think I'm going
Whoa.
to knock it out of the park. Honestly, I'm so excited for tonight. They have me in this room. They won't let me out. But tonight I'll get some fresh air. Right?
Oh, so you're being held against your will right now. I mean, this is breaking news. So they're hiding you away.
Sometimes when the teleprompter is not, in the gist of everything we're doing, they get afraid. They're afraid of strong women, and I say how I feel.
That's right.
So and I write my own speeches. I refuse to let them, burden that for me. But I got this far, so I'm gonna keep on going on my joyful warrior way, right?
You do seem very joyful. So I did have one quick question about pandering, because it is something that you've been criticized about. It seems like for specific audiences, even though you were raised in Quebec, you use this like foghorn leghorn style Southern accent when you're talking to specific groups of people south of the Mason-Dixon line. Why do you do that? It seems very inauthentic.
Well, it just comes out naturally out of me. When I want to resonate with the black folk, it just comes right out. But and I've mentioned this before. When donor money starts coming in, I definitely lighten it up, and I start talking about burdens, and I enunciate more. But when we're talking, to the inner city folk of Chicago, we got to talk about collard greens. Because clearly that's what I think that they're capable of understanding. So, it's very important to know your audience. And Benjamin, you should know that you have a show. I could run circles around you people.
Well, I mean, I find it particularly offensive, and would never change my accent based on who I'm talking to. But
I'm a Democrat. You're not a good journalist.
We have noticed that there have been a lot of people who have very high net worths, like Oprah and Michelle Obama and Barack Obama, who have complained about being victims and complained about how unequal everything is and how hard life is for them. And how Michelle Obama, and I'm quoting here, she's suspicious of people who take more than they need. But they have multiple beach houses on private islands. And so I'm wondering if you could maybe explain to us that contrast. How does that work in the Democrat Party?
Well, that's our entire mindset. We want to project victim mentality to the people in America. we want them to resonate with us. We can't, we can't pretend we're broke, Benny. We can't pretend we're broke. They're going to eventually see us on one of our yachts, and we have to justify them voting for us and taking all these tax dollars from them. Because, I'm going to raise all the taxes, wipe out the middle class, but I'm not really going to have a lot to show for it. Everyone has their fair share behind closed doors, right? That's really how politics works. So, what we do is we gaslight the voters, and, it's been working great so far. But, that's why Donnie is such a thorn in our ass, right?
So final question here. How will you be? So the convention is done tonight. How will you be preparing for a debate with Donald Trump? That happens in just a few weeks.
I've been preparing. I have been preparing. So, I've been watching a lot of his rallies. I already got one great idea, no tax on tips. And, my team has been watching the rest of his stuff. And we're going to flip the coin, and I'm going to pray that I go first so that I can drill out those policies first. And, that's it. I'll have it right in the bag. But, what's his is mine, right?
That does seem to be the takeaway thought. And just in closing here, what do you mean? What does the "you fell out of a coconut tree" line mean exactly? That's become quite famous, and nobody quite understands it.
Well, I was climbing trees, and I actually asked my mother about this. It's a really funny story. I was climbing trees as a little girl, and I kept falling out of it and hitting my head. And my mom found it so interesting that I had this resilience about me. I just didn't give up. I kept climbing that tree, and I kept falling. And bump after bump after bump on the head, and I mean, no damage. So it's a story of my resilience. And my mother even told me, you keep climbing that tree and you keep falling out. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen to you, but you're going to have to start, selling yourself out there. And, but look where I am now. Look where I am now. I made it this far. And, don't underestimate coconuts. They've gotten me really, they've gotten me far. Ask Willie.
Madam Vice President, I was not expecting this, although I do see why they have kept you off all interviews and all media hits. I do now completely and totally understand that. I guess good luck.
I have no filter. Yeah.
I guess good luck tonight. Don't hit the sauce too hard before the speech. We'd like to have you be able to deliver the lines, right? Unlike your old boss.
Well, I've missed everything so far. They've had, the pre-DNC party, the post-after party, and, they promised me I can go to the pre-party before the speech. So, I make no promises. The fact that I'm even going. All right.
Well, we'll be watching. Thank you, Madam Vice President, for this exclusive historic interview live on the stream.
Thank you, Benjamin.
Goodness, this is going to be one hell of a ride.
It sure is. Take care.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we love doing stuff like this. That's actually a incredible Kamala Harris impersonator named SD. Do we have her social media? Yeah, there we go. Everybody go follow SD Petit, who is I think just the number one. She's who Saturday Night Live should cast as Kamala Harris. Holy moly. You just sit back, you're like, I don't know how to respond to most of this, but it works. I mean, it works.